this type of contract. But now this is where the pressure really, really starts. And this is what I've told you before. We had this conversation where people were saying there's more pressure on on Zeke than Dak. Skip, it's always going to be more pressure on the quarterback. Since they changed the rules, since they opened up the field with the way you can attack the quarterback, the defenseless receiver, the illegal contact, the clutching and the grabbing, they've opened up the field. So it's made it incumbent that you have a very good quarterback. The pressure isn't on Derrick Henry, it's on Ryan Tannehill. The pressure isn't on Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, it's on Baker Mayfield. The pressure isn't on Ezekiel Elliott. The pressure is on Dak Prescott. One, he plays the most important position, is what you've told me. Second of all, he has the ball in his hand on every single play. And now he has that mammoth contract. He got $40 million. Everybody, for the most part, he's not getting that. He's not getting that money. He overplayed his hand. That's too much money. They want to give him what they gave Jared Goff and Carson Wentz, which I told you, I said, Skip, he's not gonna settle for that. You have to pay him big bucks. So for me, the pressure is on Dak Prescott. And, Skip, I'm not just talking about this year, because everybody's going to say, well, he got to do it this year. No, the contract isn't for 1 year. The contract is for 4 years. So you got to play the long game also. Don't think just because he doesn't get it done this year, he doesn't have 3 more to get it done. He has 3 more years. His thing is, now, he's going to have to, at some point in time, get this team to an NFC championship game, Skip. He just can't win the division. A terrible division at that. He can't just win 1 playoff game. He's going to have to get to an NFC championship game and eventually get them to a Super Bowl.
Agreed.
For people to say, you know what? That was money well spent, Jerry.
Yep.
For Jerry, in his eyes, to realize that, you know what? You're right. That was the right thing to do. Because Jerry keeps saying this now. What he said in episode 5, it didn't seem to be the case last year and leading up until he got the contract. He didn't think Dak was the Pied Piper. He didn't think there was an aura around him. He didn't think it was a guy that would learn something on the practice field and be able to translate it and take it to the game field. He didn't think that. Now, all of a sudden, he thinks that. Well, he thinks that because he said, you know what? I gave this rascal 40 mil. Now, like you said, Skip, you know, in other businesses, second, third is pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yep.
You know, hey, I might not have the highest market cap, but if I'm second or third, I'm pretty good. But this here, wins, losses.
Okay. My turn. But before I go, I would like to alert our audience to the fact that during the break, Shannon Sharp stole my Tom Brady jersey. He stole it, and now he has defiled it, he has tainted it, he has jinxed it. I might have to get another one.
Look what I got.
Yeah,
Look what I got already. This is a real Brady jersey too, Skip.
A Brady hater has touched the Golden Gods jersey. That's all you need to know, and that is bad news.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
You like Brady more than the Cowboys.
That is not the truth.
You don't tell the truth. I'm an incredible Hulk, and
You're going to rip my jersey apart. You're going to throw my jersey before this segment is over. I know it. I saw it.
I'm going to make you tell the truth. I want to know who's first. America, who's first? Ernestine, Cowboy, or the Brady's? I need to know.
It goes Cowboys, Ernestine, Brady.
Get out of here. You know where you ought to be.
Thank you.
Lock the door, Ernestine. Don't let him in the house.
Do we have laundry? We got to get this laundered before the show is over. Back to Dak. Here's my view of Dak Prescott. I believe after the first 3 games of 2019, he and his agent, Todd France, fairly new agent at that point, put their heads together and said, wait a second, I just lit up 3 straight teams. I am leading the National Football League in QBR. I am averaging 91. I just talked about Alex Smith had a 91. Dak averaged a 91 QBR. He's running away with it after 3 games against the New York Giants and at Washington and Miami at home. And those teams were going to be 3-13, 3-13, 5-11. They were bad football teams, and to your credit, Mr. Hall of Famer, you kept pointing it out every Monday. Garbage team, garbage time. Garbage team, garbage time, right? Okay, so still, they went to war with Jerry Jones. Remember, Jerry had said after opening day at Jerry World, we're close. It is, he used the word imminent. Imminent as in what, said the reporters. I'm talking about days.
Yes.
Like in the next few days, we're done.
Right.
As in we got to cross T's and dot I's and sign the bottom line because we have shaken hands on the money.
Right.
Am I right?
Yes.
And somehow that rug got jerked right out from under Jerry Jones, and he was not happy about it. And they went to contractual war, Cold War, impasse. Do not invite him, where it got ugly over the next couple of months, right? And I thought something was done. Remember, they just had done Zeke. He came back from Cabo, and they made him the highest paid running back. And I thought, voila, here we go. By opening day, I thought the tandem would be in place, that Dak would get his money. And it went on, and it went on, and it went on. So what did everybody start to say? That Dak is something. He stood up to Jerry, and he is betting on himself. How many times did you hear that down the stretch of 2019? So they go from 3-0 to finishing 5-8. And I'm here to tell you, Dak Prescott crumbled under that pressure to show Jerry he was worth however many millions he was about to get. I thought it was the worst case scenario for Dak because over those last 13 games, as they go 5-8, he ranked 15th by Pro Football Focus rankings among quarterbacks. So he was just a middle of the pack. And I can't give him any better than that because you know what kept happening? Big road losses at Jets, at New England, at Chicago, Buffalo on Thanksgiving, New Orleans, that was early, and then late was at Philly. And Dak looked like an average quarterback to me. And I'm thinking, remember, that's why Jerry's starting to have second, third thoughts about, do I really want to do this? And it drags on and on and on into last year. So how did he open up last year? Well, he played really well against the Rams on opening night, Sunday night. So I'm hoping he repeats that performance tonight at Tampa Bay. But they came within one bad call on, you remember, on Gallup, on Jalen Ramsey, you know, where they called a push-off on Michael Gallup, and he did not push off. It was ridiculous, but they came close to at least tying that game and going to overtime. So I'll give you that game, and then here we go. Atlanta, in the home opener, has them down 29-10 at half. And like you always tell me, the Cowboys get the ball in the first half? Sure, they got the ball. They're down 39-24 with 8 minutes to go in the game. Were they getting the ball? Yeah, they were getting the ball. And obviously, the defense was historically bad. But somehow, miraculously, they pulled that one out and win 40-39 thanks to the watermelon onside kick. I don't know how they did it. It was truly a miracle.
It like to cost you Oklahoma the game, too. They got same kick.
Okay, well, it was, but we held on because we stopped the quarterback from making the last half yard on a 3rd and 13, right? Okay. Well, Atlanta couldn't stop Dak, and so Dak pulls it off, but he threw for 182 in the fourth quarter. So all of a sudden, he became on an historic pace. No one in the history of this league has thrown for as many yards as Dak did in the first 4 games. They were within a whisker, a hair, a miracle of going 0-4 in those games, and that has to be somewhat on the quarterback, right? Because then they go to Seattle, they're down 30-15 early in the third quarter. That's not very good. And Dak throws for 150 in the fourth quarter, and Jerry rips him the following day on his radio show saying, yeah, we had a throw into the end zone to tie the game. It was 38-31 final in Seattle. And he said, Mahomes can pull that one off where he escaped and ran to his left. That's a Mahomes play. Or Tony Romo, he can pull that off. He's blasting Dak. My guy can't pull that off. So he's worth $75 million, which he was about to get. And then, of course, we hit bottom. Browns at home. We're down 31-14, which became at half, which became 41-14 after 3 quarters. Did Dak get the football?
Of course.
Yeah, he got the football. And he roars back. He throws for 254 in the fourth quarter. Garbage yards, empty calories. I give you that. So he was not coming out and taking over the game early on offense enough to set a tone that could take the defense along for a ride. He wasn't winning shootouts by going eye for an eye, you know, like you do this, I'll top you. He was getting off to very late great starts, but they were too late. 182 in the fourth, 150 in the fourth at Seattle, 254 in the fourth against the Browns at home, and leading to the Giants game. And we know what happened. I got to knock on wood that that's never going to happen again. But the point was, I still thought he was crumbling under the pressure to get his contract. And then of all people, I was shocked, beyond shocked, when Jerry not only finally caved in, he gave him $75 million this year. Brady makes $27.5. He's second on the salary list of quarterbacks. My guy makes $75 million. But what did I tell you off episode 5? I believe my guy has made peace with where he is. I felt serenity from Dak in episode 5. So all the pressure is off. I think he's a made man. I think I got no feeling from anybody in the locker room that anybody resents him getting $75 million.
No, we don't.
I think that
even Skip, nobody resents anybody getting paid. We want everybody to get paid. But here's the thing now, Skip. If you're getting paid like Mahomes and Rodgers and Brady and Russell Wilson, aren't you required to perform like them on a weekly basis?
Yep, you are. Already, he's 5th in the Fox Bet MVP odds. Well, that means
that ain't pressure.
That would be top.